What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tabletop Bob. Uh, we're here tonight playing a new game, a new show, a new experiment. I'm Kyle. I'll be your DM for this.
Yeah, Kyle. Woo!
Woo!
Hey, all right. We've got a great group here today. Half of the group that will be in the show. We've got our illustrious leader, Mr. Bob, here, who's captain of the ship
The
here at
tabletop
Tabletop
Bob.
Bob, doing excellently. Vecna has impressed me every episode.
Thank you.
And we've got two very good friends of mine who I've been playing with for a long time, Estelle and CJ. Thank you very much for being a part of this. Having some
Happy to
friends
be here,
on board is
Kyle.
always a good thing, and the three of you guys are definitely friends of mine, and I'm really happy to do this, and I'm really happy to be on the channel. Thanks a lot, Bob,
Thank you,
for
Kyle.
giving me the shot.
And
So
Kyle,
this is
I'll add one thing to this. Like I said, when you brought this idea to me of doing this campaign, Tales, and eventually kind of morphed into Tales of the Valiant, I think this was about a year ago. Like literally, I think at the barbecue last year, you approached
yes.
me about it.
Yeah,
So,
that's when
so
we
it's
first we're kind of feeling it out to see if you had room in your schedule, which is
which I
tight.
didn't,
You
which I
are
didn't.
chock full of hits
Thank
on
you.
this channel, so thank you very much for fitting me in.
But I was gonna
Uh,
say, so we were. This is like a year in the works sort of project, and when you were like, "Hey, I'll run something," I was like, whenever I hear that, like when CJ's done it, is music to my ears because I never get to play on the channel. Obviously, I feel like I've now become the forever DM. Even CJ played in a home campaign recently at the gaming club. I ran that. It was to test out the new player's handbook rules, 2024, and like every time I play, I'm basically always the DM or GM, and so I thank you so much for agreeing to run this because I cannot wait to be a player once again.
yeah, yeah, I'm really excited for this. So we're going to be playing Tales of the Valiant, which is sort of a 5e adjacent system that came out a couple years ago, about a year and a half ago, maybe. It started out as Project Black Flag by Kobo Press. It's sort of their version of 5e to kind of keep their content, to have a base for it because there was sort of the OGL thing was going on and nobody knew really what was going to happen. It's very similar to the D&D you guys know. A few character options and abilities are going to be different, but all the basics are there. So don't feel like you have to be an expert on the system to be able to follow along. This is going to be D&D just like you're used to. Um, uh, we're going to be playing in sort of a homebrew-ish world. Yes, CJ, you have a question?
Will dice be involved?
Yes,
Okay,
many, many.
just
Yes,
just wanted to make sure because you said it was like Dungeons and Dragons, and I just wanted to make sure that dice.
yes,
Okay,
that's one of the things that made it in is dice.
Virtually, virtually.
I was worried.
This is sort of a hodgepodge homebrew slash official module kind of stuff that I was able to comb from the internet and kind of piece together. So I think you guys are going to have a really good time. We'll introduce the characters in just a moment. But Bob started a bit of a tradition of asking a question at the beginning of every episode.
Totally my tradition.
Bob,
Uh,
totally all Bob.
and and CJ started when he ran his stuff
Yep.
to have sort of a phrase or a catchphrase sort of thing at the beginning. I don't have a catchphrase, and I don't want to
Yeah,
steal his.
we're gonna.
So every episode, I'm going to start it off by sort of field testing a motto or like a slogan for the channel. Um,
I like this. I
so
like where this is going,
yes.
Kyle.
So uh, a realistic one would be Tabletop Bob, where dungeons are delved. Someone's already thought of that. And if we're doing more of a meat grinder kind of story, maybe where heroes go to die,
Mm.
I think that would be interesting. So uh, I'll
Um,
think I'll improv something ahead of every episode to do that. But
I
so the
like these. If
question I'll
one,
pose to everybody is um, when you make a character, when you're starting a new game, what's the first aspect of that character that you think about?
Mm.
oh gosh.
Is it a stat? Is it a personality trait? Is it a speech impediment? Is it their upbringing? Like what's that first little kernel that starts that idea for a character? Um, Bob, we'll start with you.
I do feel like that's a great question, by the way, Kyle, and thank you. Where heroes go to die. I mean, that sounds more on the nose, I think, than the first one. Dungeons don't always get delved on the channel. But for this specific question, I'll just use, so you're gonna meet our characters soon, but for like, I feel like it's always different. I don't know that I have a go-to. I know that when I was younger, when I was like, in my teens and like college, and I would always like think of a power gaming concept. Like I was always trying to make like an optimized character. So I was thinking of like stats, feats, combos that would kind of like determine the character. But now in my old age, I think it's more of a concept. It just comes into my head. I'm like, I want to make that concept like for this one, the job is what came first for me. I was like, he had to have a job before becoming an adventurer, and this job is kind of what spurs on his all the other stuff that I thought of. I thought of it'd be cool to have this one profession that he did beforehand, and that's how I got this character. For other characters on the channel, I feel like it has literally been every which way. Whether it was like a story component first, or maybe there was a quirk that he had. But I feel like generally speaking, I try to go more role playing themed nowadays.
All right, CJ, what's your
Yeah,
process?
I think Bob hit it on the head where it is different for everyone, but I think for a lot of them, it is um, thinking about some personality trait of the character
Mm.
initially. So with a character like Edmund, he had a superhero voice, and he was friend to elf and man. Wink, because he was like halfway between half. He was half elf, so it was halfway between between man and elf. So he was going to be the combiner, the joiner of the two, or Xerox, who as a character was the concept was he's the goblin that always got captured and taken as hostage, and that's how he continued to survive. Um, so like his personality was always like, I'm groveling, I'm gonna, do whatever, and then it comes afterwards that idea of where that character goes from there. I think that was where I started with those two. Sometimes it's I see a character on a show or something, and I think, oh, I wonder what it would be like to play a character like that. Um, and then they usually just delve into being kind of bad people. As I play them more and more, they just become worse and worse people.
That is a trend you have.
Yeah, they just
Hmm.
it's a fantasy game, so I want to try and play out something that I'm not in real life. So being a bad
Mm,
person,
sure, we'll go
All
with
right,
that.
Estelle, how about you?
I think I'm pretty similar here, but I like to like usually like I have some sort of concept, like just like one word to sort of revolve around. And then that tends to get followed by a doodle, and then I just sort of keep building from there, like whatever the doodle's personality looks like. I'm like, oh yeah, this person looks kind of worried. But maybe that's
Mm.
their personality.
Was that what you did for this character?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I see the artwork. We'll show it in a little bit, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
I see it
Oh,
already.
how do I show this without it like revealing a bunch of stuff? Hold on.
Well, we might be able to reveal it soon. Oh, you have something like in your
Yeah. Like this is literally during the conversation that I did this one. If it focus.
oh.
oh,
Hold on,
very nice.
Nice.
let it zoom in or
The
focus.
focus.
There we go. Look
That's
at that.
But yeah,
Beautiful.
that it tends to be that, and then yeah, sort of the process, just idea of like a concept like
Mm-hmm.
survivor, dutiful, all that type of stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna doodle this person. Okay, now I'm gonna elaborate from there.
Wow, that's a really interesting way to do it, actually. Because I was thinking I would, maybe you base it on like a character in a movie or something like that. That would be, but that's like you've constructed the character already, and or the appearance, and then went backward. It's like it went backwards. It's
Yeah,
wild.
if there's a strong enough concept, it just kind of comes in like through the drawing, and then you just sort of reflect it back and forth.
Hmm. Love it.
All right. Those are some awesome answers. One of the things that I've kind of done more recently, um, because my imagination never shuts up. So whenever I'm doing something mundane, I'm also thinking about something else. And I have this bad habit of making a backstory that's way too elaborate, like way too much information. I've thought about it way too much. And I've found that that's okay. But if I lock into that, like this is their backstory, this is who they are, and this is what they're going to do, I found that sometimes I would be at odds with the story that's playing out that I'm a part of, and that can get in the way of the story sometimes, or it kind of can hinder your enjoyment because then you're actually fighting the story that you're in to some extent. So I something that I read in like a acting like an improv seminar or something once that you can be you can have a character, it can be so fleshed out, you can flesh out every nuance of a character, and that's okay, but when the story starts they have to be at a crossroads,
Mm-hmm.
meaning this is who they've been but they're going to become something else, and that leaves you open to the environment changing you. And
Good
so
point.
not only are you experiencing the story for the first time, but you're exploring this person that you sort of invented in your head. Like those outside forces, how do they affect this person?
That's a
So
good
it's
point.
not like what would my character do in this moment? It's what is this doing to my character right now?
Mm.
And then that reaction to that makes you a much more like you're in the story more, you're a part of it more, as opposed to like a visitor in watching a show. Like you're in it, you're not just watching, kind of thing.
Good point.
And I found like whenever I do that with a character, like Dariush, how foolishly elaborate was Dariush's backstory? Like it was ridiculous, and knowing nothing about what I was getting into, but he's in a really bad way and he's trying to rebuild himself back up, and then he meets another goblin like Xerox, automatically befriends him, reminds him of what he used to be, because he might not get back where he was going, so let's just see, he's still himself but is taking in this new role in life that he has. And anytime that happens, it just, for me, like the enjoyment just goes right through the roof.
It's a good point.
It's
And
way more fun, and you're way more open, and you can adapt to what the DM is giving you.
I like it.
I just since I've started doing that, like my enjoyment level of D&D has just gone right through the roof. Like it's already a great experience, which hopefully will begin as soon as I stop rambling. But that's been something that's been really helpful for me as a player.
That's great. And also, we have other people who are part of this game. They're not here tonight. I know you're going to touch on that, but Chris, for instance, that's, I think, his big motto. He really doesn't like to flesh out too much of a backstory because he thinks that it would inform some of his decisions. So he's talked about that in Keep on the Borderlands. He tried to like keep his backstory very minimal so that he could kind of expand on it as we go, but it doesn't really affect his like in-game decisions as much. Like you said, trying to be more reactive to what's going on around the character. So so Chris and Nate will be on Tuesday. We're going to get back to our Tuesday. This is a special episode, but we'll be back on Tuesday for Chris and Nate. They're the second half of this. So we're calling it, I don't know if you have a title in mind. We'll talk about titles afterwards, but I've just labeled it right now, episode 0.1. Theirs will be 0.2. And then true episode 1 will be, the following Tuesday. We're going to keep on this Tuesday schedule. And actually, while I have everybody's attention, Vecna and Strahd are both going on their breaks for the summer. Vecna will be back in the fall to have its finale chapters that conclude everything. And Curse of Strahd just finished on this Tuesday, literally 2 days ago. So season 3 will be back in 2026. Very excited for both of those. So stay tuned for more things coming on the channel. Do all the good YouTube stuff. CJ's here, so I got to make sure I promote the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all the good stuff. All right. And Kyle,
follow
take
us
it
on all
away.
the socials.
You guys are the professionals. You know how to the business side of things. Got to hit that button and bells and stuff.
All
that
that bells
bell.
and whistles.
Okay, so here we go.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. So like Bob mentioned, we've kind of split the group into two, like introductory session 0 kind of things to get to know the players a little bit, get to know the characters a little bit. Um, this is technically the second half, so it's a bit of a Tarantino scenario where, who says you got to do the beginning of the story at the beginning of the story, man? Like one of those things. But it'll all make sense when it gets together. But we are going to so we're starting off the three of you intrepid adventurers who will meet in just a moment, are traveling on your way, whatever goals your characters have, which we'll get into. You've traveled through this small, I don't want to call it a village, there's like a hierarchy, right? There's like village, town, and city, right? This is more of a town, mid-size, relatively well populated. It's a town called Homolane, and it's sort of a waypoint in your travels. But pleasant surprise, you've been on the road a while. They are in the midst of their annual festival. So there's some carnival games, there's lots of kids playing, there's community events, there's artisanal products in wagons in the streets being sold, local and traveling merchants. This is like a really big flea market with a carnival attached, sort of thing. And so that was a pleasant surprise. So we're going to start off with your character sort of enjoying the environment a little bit and exploring and interacting a little bit. So we're going to start with CJ. Okay. So why don't you describe your character and what would be the first thing he would want to do were he to sort of find himself in an event like this?
Okay. Well, my character is this is going to be great. I am playing Vigor Gawkroker, the Flame Vowed. And
we also don't know who we're all playing really. Like we know the class. That's about it.
No, who is a cleric, and he is entering into this very festive. What season is it? Is this like a fall harvest festival? Is this a summer festival? Winter
I would say fall
Lobster Fest.
Lobster Fest.
Yeah, a little bit of fun before the winter, so all the farmers can make sure they make some money right before.
Okay.
This
is a harvest festival.
Farm and such. I've been playing Stardew Valley, so I know you can't farm much in winter.
Right. Okay.
Cabbages.
Right. Yeah. And mayonnaise. I'm the king of mayonnaise in Stardew Valley. So yeah, it'd be a fall festival.
So this is a fall harvest festival. So as a cleric of the sun god, he's probably inspecting the harvest, looking at the wares of the merchants that are there, the farmers that have put out their produce, and he's inspecting and he's looking at all of it, and he's very intensely looking, and he's staring down, and he's very just kind of a little yes.
Oh, he's angry.
See, they have been blessed by the sun god here. It is impressive. Their crops have been well tended. He picks up a fruit and he says, yes. You, farmer. Good job in keeping up for the harvest festival. The sun god blessed you well. And he puts it back.
Thank you. It's 3 copper for a bushel.
Is worth every penny of it. Every copper. You have done well. May her blessings be upon you in the future. And he would turn and walk away.
Thank you again, I think.
And he turns and walks away and heads to the next stall and begins looking at their wares. And again, it's just,
He does the same thing.
Does- this guy, he's like, your fruits are not as good as that guy's. The sun god. I gotta remember her name.
Solana.
Has not blessed you as well. Have you not paid her homage?
Oh, no. What happened was my scarecrow. Some of the local teenagers knocked it over, so all my best crops got eaten by the crows. Thank you for reminding me of that horrible event that happened this year. But
Solana did not favor you, for a scarecrow is not all that would save your crops.
Thank you for the advice, sir. Because you're wearing a helmet, right?
It's a hood, but it's also a face mask. I'm like in full COVID gear, face mask, all dark black. There is a large golden sun crest on the front of my chainmail. I'm wearing chainmail, dark black chainmail.
Really
black
gets the sun.
cloak.
It really retains the heat.
Hits the sun and shines brightly in the sun. But yes, perhaps next year you will have a better harvest with Solana's blessing.
I hope so. I talked to the schoolmaster about them damn kids. But, yes, have a good one, sir. Yes,
Starts
thank you.
walking away as you're having this conversation.
So I imagine children scatter and things like that, and you're sort of perusing this this festival. It's a very bright, sunny day. So you're loving this. Like there's very few clouds. It's a very nice,
Solana blesses this.
Fair weathered, fall day. But you hear something off in the distance as you're sort of approaching like the center of town. Sounds like a thunderstorm. And you sort of look in that direction. You don't see any clouds. And you're sort of in the center of town, so there's lots of buildings. So you can see down a few of the avenues, but you can't see too far off, and you just hear like this rumbling, which sounds like thunder. So then we will. And just one question about your character: what's his passive perception?
That's a really good question.
For no reason at all.
Passive perception.
You're not prepared,
is 13.
13. Okay.
No, I had it open. I have a lot of windows.
You haven't memorized every stat about your character yet?
It's
It's
not
episode
yet.
0.
This is the first time.
Okay.
All right. So while you're bringing all that joy to the festival, we will switch it to Estelle. Why don't you describe your character, what they look like, and what they're doing here at the festival?
Okay, so my character Elle, she's very tall. She's over 7 feet tall. Big, thick muscles. Walking in with armor on with chainmail. It's that coarse black hair that's kind of like does like a sheen of green in the light. The same way like if you have a black cat, they're in the sunlight and they turn brown. So kind of like that. She's just kind of looking around with like sort of like tired looking eyes and just a little on edge with all these people around. But she kind of walks in and tries to like. Are people like? Are there like candied apples or things like that?
Oh yeah, there's a huge candy apple booth, and there's kids everywhere. Sort of as you're moving around, like you're obviously a tall, armored figure, moving through town, so you get noticed without a doubt. Just your height alone, but you're used to that.
Yeah.
But it looks like all like the kids are fascinated by you, like they're staring. Like you see, like one kid's got the comically massive rainbow stripe lollipop, and is like sitting like on a barrel, and just like, wow! Like as you pass by, like all the kids seem to be like really interested in this super tall person like walking around. But yeah, there's a candied apple. They have candied like bananas. This guy is like an artisan, so he makes all different kinds of.
As she's like approaching it, and as she gets more and more attention, she just starts to like turn elsewhere because it's too much attention.
Okay.
And she probably just ends up at like the most deserted stall there is.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's a guy there, and it's like that thing where like you go to the aisle in the store with last season stuff. So like in the fall, there's always that section of the store with like pool toys and stuff because summer's over, so it's like in the corner and no one goes over there.
Clearance.
So there's a guy selling like those little parasol, little umbrellas to give you shade, and like just off-season stuff. And so there's nobody around, and he's just kind of minding his own business. He's like reading a little book.
I just come over, and like suddenly a shadow goes over him.
Yeah, and he's just kind of, and he's obviously like seeing you is a surprise to him, but like also he's got a customer. Like this festival's been going on for like 3 days, and he just sort of stands up and goes, "Oh, hello, a traveler. Many wares here for those of you who peruse this wonderful world of ours. Is there anything I can interest you in? I have things to protect you from the sun. I've got some tank tops and these interesting shoes from the southwestern area of the continent. They're like shoes, but they're just sort of the bottom with a small, like it's even less than a sandal. Like sandals. This is even less than a sandal. They're named after the sound they make. They're called flop flips, and they're great for traveling in the hot weather." And he holds up this like really chintzy, it's just sort of like a little piece of leather with a cord. And being a traveler, like on a rustic road with rocks and everything, like this would be the worst thing to wear on your feet. So, and he's giving you sort of the rundown of his wares.
They'll never catch on.
From your vantage point, like where you are, you have this, you're sort of at the opposite end of sort of where all the action is, but you can see down one of the main streets of the town, and you see off in the distance like a covered wagon, but like, and it's this weird thing that I had somebody tell me this is not a covered wagon, it's a stagecoach. Whenever I envision a covered wagon, I think of like a Wild West, like a stagecoach where it's like a cabin, then it's being pulled by horses. Whereas a covered wagon is just like an open wagon with like a canvas thing, like the Oregon Trail. That's a covered wagon, right?
Yep.
So my reaction is to call it a covered wagon, but it's more like a stagecoach. It's a big sort of taxi where people would sit in it. And it's way, way, way down the road, but you notice it because this is a bit of an decline. You're sort of at the bottom, and you see one of those coming. But the only reason why it even gets your attention, because you've seen a few of these come through town before, is there's no horses. It's just coming down this road with no horses. Next, we'll go to Bob. Bob, why don't you describe your character and what they're enjoying here at this fall harvest festival?
Yeah, so I'm playing a wizard named Calvin. Calvin is an older gentleman. He's just under 60 years old, maybe like late 50s. But I imagine him as a very traditional looking wizard. Like in my mind, Gandalf was kind of like a visual inspiration, but now I'm thinking about it more. Maybe actually, I don't know if everybody knows Ed Greenwood, the OG D&D Elminster. Like I think he might actually look like him. The long wispy white beard, typical wizard's robes, pointy hat. His robes are a kind of like Durlin, except a little bit more refined. Is what a more refined Durlin. Rest in peace. And I would also say that his robes are unique. They, instead of it just being a traditional solid color, you can see constellations, like the night sky, almost like printed onto, woven into the cloth. Very intricate. Must have cost a pretty penny. And he has this also on his hat that he wears. So it looks like he's got like a pretty nice robes. And he's also carrying a walking stick, typical wizard staff. And also in the walking stick at the end kind of has like a little, the head of it has sort of like the wood kind of curls and curves to almost resemble that of like a moon, like a half moon, maybe a more towards the crescent moon. And he all about the stars. And it's not, I assume it's daytime, right?
Yeah, midday.
So he's not stargazing at this point, but he does look up to the sky often, catching bits of the sun when he can. And he's probably entertaining a lot of these children. You said there are a bunch of children around, so he's creating. So I imagine he's creating some minor illusions. That's one of his cantrips. So he's creating minor illusions of maybe visions in some sort of constellation in the sky, changing it, trying to mesmerize the kids with it. Now I don't know how into astronomy the kids are these days, but he worked at a school of magic, so it's his former job. So he's used to dealing with probably youngsters, maybe not the youngest children, but youngsters. And he's trying to do his best. Oh, now, come here, gather round, see this, look at this constellation, the Hunter. And he changes whatever the constellation would be in the sky. How do the kids feel about this? Are they into it, or are they bored to tears?
Let's find out at the first roll of the session. I'll let you choose. You can either do an Arcana check to see how good of an illusion you create, or it can be a performance check to like how fancy or how are you able to tap into their youthful sort of curiosity, right, and maybe not as scientifically accurate
showmanship,
just showmanship, right? So you can pick.
Now, actually, he's way better at Arcana, but I think in this case he's trying to branch out a little bit and be more assertive, hold an audience's attention. So he's going to use performance here, whether or not it's good. So let's see how it goes. Let me know if it came through.
Yes. Oh boy. All right.
4. Pay attention now. Eyes on me, everyone. Eyes up here. No. Put that down. And he's trying to like go over and get these little kids' attention, but they're playing with sticks, I'm sure, or something more interesting than the stars.
Yeah. You're creating these illusions. You're giving them information about, you can see this in the night sky to the west tonight, or whatever, things like that. And then you kind of look down and you notice like one little boy is like tugging on a girl's ponytail, and like there's kids building a log cabin with sticks, and like
you'll never learn if you don't pay attention. What's wrong with you kids these days? And
it's so you look down from your illusions and you see all these kids. They gave you a little, the people in town, they gave you like a little certificate because earlier in the day, thanks to your superior intellect, you like rocked the corn maze. Like you got like a record completion time in the Homelane Fall Festival corn maze. So they gave you like a little certificate. So it was kind of like rolled up like in your pocket, and you you notice like a kid tries to take it. So it's when you turn to like sort of shoo him away that you, from your vantage point, you're kind of like, you're like on a porch, like a building, and all the kids are kind of standing in the road. And as you turn to look at the kid, you see up the main road here, a stagecoach, and it's coming down the road, but it's moving really fast, like way faster than it should be. And then it dawns on you that there's no horses attached to it.
Oh dear.
So I'm going to move you guys to a different page. Actually, we don't need that yet.
Okay. Let me know if you want me to move to Roll20.
Yeah, we'll go to another map in a second. Let's see. Actually, it will. I think it carries over if we go to a different page. So I'm going to have you guys roll initiative here really quick, just for 1 second, because we're going to have a little bit of an interaction here. So Um, I want to do like an in order kind of thing. So.
Okay. I got a 16. And while you're doing that, I'd say Calvin, after getting frustrated with the kids and then one kid trying to steal his certificate that he won fair and square, he looks over to all the kids and he sees the stagecoach coming without horses, and he says, "Run! Run! Everybody! Get to safety! It's headed our way!" And he points towards the coach, trying to get everybody's attention at least.
Okay, so I'm going to... okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So, Al, you are the first in the order here. So you're in the sort of center, sort of town square area. It's more of a circle, but and you notice that stagecoach coming down. Initially, the first thing you notice that it had no horses, and as it's sort of getting closer, it looks like it's out of control. There's no driver either, and it's kind of skidding side to side as it rumbles down this road. And you also know, you've been here for a while. You know that most of the main streets have been blocked off because people are walking. They're going to the stores. They're going to the booths. They're going to the different events. So it's erratic sort of movement, and its velocity. It's moving very, very fast. And then you kind of, it's that thing where like you're focusing on something in the distance, and then your sort of attention gets a little wider as you're kind of taking in your environment, and you see about halfway between you and this stagecoach, which is coming down this hill, there is a child in the road, about 2 years old, kind of making like a mud pie in the middle of the road. And off to the side, there's a house, and you see a woman, you presume the kid's mother, kind of notices the stagecoach, the kid, and, sort of takes it all in just sort of as you are. And you notice she's running towards the kid, but you're a person of action, and you know that there's no way this woman is going to get to their kid before the stagecoach gets her. So what do you do? And the kid is well over 60 feet from you. Maybe closer to 100, maybe, at this point.
You might be muted as stuff.
Okay. Okay, the kid's over 60 feet away. Well, I'm definitely not gonna make... Does it look like the kid's gonna get hit by the stagecoach within the next round?
It's moving really fast. As it gets closer, like, you'll be able to gauge that a little bit better, but it's erratic, and it's moving really fast, and it's complete. There's no horses or driver, so there's no control on this thing. Okay. So that kid is definitely in serious danger.
Okay. I can't like jump onto like the wagon, considering it's too far or too fast.
Well, it's like you're sort of on the opposite side. So it's the wagon coming, the kid in the middle, and then you're on the other side. You're about 100 feet from the kid. And it's like your typical rustic, road. It's mostly dirt. It's not paved. So it's, but it's smooth. Like, this is a fairly large town. So there's staff that sort of like tend to the town day to day. So they keep some of the, especially the main roads, they keep them maintained. So it's fairly flat. There's a few dips and a few, it is a dirt road. But and there's houses and shops on either side. But it's wide enough that like two of these stagecoaches, like if it was two-way traffic, would be comfortable. So it's a fairly wide street. So there's a chance the kid won't get run over, but because of the erratic nature of its movement and that, the object itself, there's nobody steering. it's a pretty dangerous situation.
Okay. Can I use one of the parasols being sold as like a javelin to throw at the wheel? One of
Sure.
the wheels?
I was
Sure.
hoping you were gonna throw it at the kid.
Like that kid.
I'm going to say you absolutely can do that. But it would because the wagon's really far away. So I would say that it would be a disadvantage if you did that.
But the kid's over 60 feet away, so I can't even get to him before.
Yeah, he's pretty far. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'll do that with the disadvantage, and after I do that, I'm just gonna move the 30 feet closer to him.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. Strength based with disadvantage.
Okay. Am I proficient in throwing a parasol?
I would say this would be an improvised weapon, so just your strength stat, no proficiency.
Okay, at disadvantage.
Gonna be great.
It's a 9.
Okay. So with a 9, you don't hit the stagecoach.
I
It
hit the
is
kid?
really far. This you sort of grab the first one that you see. The guy doesn't really complain, and you throw it as hard as you possibly can, and it does stick in the ground. On the other side of the kid, maybe about 5 or 10 feet to the other side of the kid. If you rolled a 1, maybe he'd be in trouble. But so you didn't come close to the wagon, but the little parasol now is kind of like sticking out of the ground.
Did it startle the kid?
I imagine that the parasol, you threw it the wrong way, so it opened up and parachuted halfway. And just kind of like slow. Now the kid has a nice beach umbrella while he's playing in the mud.
Gonna land in about 15 minutes.
That's great.
All right, and you said you were gonna move towards the kid.
Yeah.
Calvin, from your vantage point, you're actually closer to the kid than Elle was. So you're sort of interacting with all of these kids. You notice the wagon, and then you hear the lady because you're closer to the house that she came out of.
Yeah.
Where she's like, "Oh, Jeremiah, get out of the road!" And like she starts running out to the kid, but he's kind of like in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you're a mathematician of a sort, so you're kind of gauging distance and speed and all that stuff. Sort of, you kind of beautiful mind it really fast in your head, and you're like, it's unlikely this woman's going to reach this kid, because it also dawns on you too that not only are there no horses on this wagon, but there's no driving.
Mm-hmm.
And so the kid's sort of in the street, and you have all like the kids that are by you, they're sort of like off to the side already. They're practically up on the porch.
Yeah, and I've told them all to like get inside, like go away.
And that would be very easy for them to do. So
here's what I do. Calvin will open up his robe, and inside, nesting right underneath his where his like armpit would be, is a bat, his familiar, and he says, "Beetlejuice, I need you now," and I summon him out, and he flaps his wings. I mean, it's daytime, so he doesn't really have good bearings right now. He was sleeping. And so I tell him to spook that child out of the road, Beetlejuice. And I send him, and he's got a much faster speed than me, so he could probably get to the kid in one turn. He's got a fly speed of 60. So he's going to go there and just kind of terrorize the kid, like try to get the kid to run away. And I'll even scream out, "A bat! I hear they have rabies if they come out during the day." And Beetlejuice.
So you summon him from your robe, and he's kind of like flapping there for a second and rubbing his eyes and like
his little bat eyes. Yeah.
And you sort of point out and you give him your commands, and he looks over and he sees the kid in the wagon, and his eyes kind of like boing, they kind of like pop out like a cartoon there for a second, and he immediately makes a bat line because he's not a bee for the kid. You shout that out, The other kids get scared and they all kind of run behind you.
Good.
Bat rabies, bat rabies. I don't want bat rabies. That's worse than cooties. And the bat kind of flutters over, and like the kid's like, oh, and the kid gets kind of freaked out. An umbrella falls out of the sky, thunk, into the dirt, just over where you guys are. So the kid has stood up at this point, and he's like, sort of trying to bat away at the bat. And
yeah, I just want Beetlejuice to chase him like out of the line, so he's just not in line with the coach.
Yeah. So he's the kid's pretty scared by the bat, so he does get up and is kind of get away, and he's like protecting his face and everything like that. But he's more walking down the hill than to the side than you would like. Because Beetlejuice, I mean, he is a bat, but he's not like a giant bat. So
no, I know.
Like he's doing his best to follow your commands. But the kid's just sort of like
he's like running home or something.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
All right, well,
and the mom is running so fast, but she gets startled by the bat as well, and she trips on a rock and she hits the ground.
Oh dear Lord!
Now she's back up on her feet, like she got up immediately and she's running towards him. But he's batting away at Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice kind of moves over to try to like get him to move to the side rather than back. And the kid sees the wagon coming because he's looking in that direction. But like it's this big thing, and it's making lots of noise. Like as closer it gets, like the louder this wooden stagecoach is making like this sound, and it's kind of bearing down on him a little bit. And like so he kind of is moving to the side now because of Beetlejuice, but like he's really afraid of this. The
coach now is
a little bit frozen with fear because this is like this huge intimidating thing kind of coming right at him.
So then I don't know how it is different than D&D. Can I like command my familiar and still do an action?
Yes.
So I'm gonna use the cantrip message to the kid and try to comfort him and say like, be brave, step aside to the right, and try to get him to just avoid the actual caravan. And that'll be my action. I'm going to stay with the kids. I'm not going like away from them. They're going to make sure they all go inside. And that'll be like my movement, staying on the porch.
Elle, I forgot to ask, what is your passive perception?
11.
11. And Calvin?
17.
17. Whoo! Okay. You see the kid, like when you do the message, like he kind of like looks around like who was talking, but it's kind of like snapped him out of his fear there a little bit.
Good.
And he sees his mom and he goes, "Mommy!" And so now they're kind of running towards each other. But you're not sure if they're going to make it. This thing is moving. The more it rolls, the faster it gets. And with a 17, I would say, like, even though it's a little bit of a distance from you at this point, there's like these heavy panels on the side of the stagecoach. And it looks like plywood, but with rocks in it, like embedded in the panel.
Okay. Well, I hope there's a small halfling cleric that's really angry that could do something about this.
Okay. So Vigor, the Sun Caller, is it?
Sun Caller. No, sorry, I did change it. It is Flame Vowed.
Flame Vowed. Okay.
Flame Vowed. It's a little higher up in the hierarchy of the order.
Your cult.
Gotcha.
Religion.
Religion. So you see this stagecoach coming down. That was the source of like the thunderous kind of sound. It was just the rumbling of this large wagon. You see an umbrella fall, stick in the ground. You see just over to your right, the person who threw it is this really tall, orcish looking warrior. You see a bat come flying out towards the child who stands up. You see his mom kind of trip and fall. You see this guy in these starry sort of robes ushering other children out of the street. The kid and the mom are almost to each other, but this wagon's getting real close.
Okay.
You see the orcish warrior kind of running towards the situation, not sure if they're going to get there in time. So what would you like to do?
How far am I from everything at this point?
I would say you are about, you would have seen L kind of from your peripheral. So I would say you're about 60 or so feet from you're about, because the kid moved and the mom came out. So I'd say you're about 40 feet from the kid and the mom,
Okay.
and about 80 feet from the wagon.
So I will move towards the kid and the mom a couple feet, about, I'd say, within 30 feet of them. And as an action, I'm going to, I pull out my warhammer, and I look upon this terrible situation, and I say a prayer to my goddess, Solana. She must know. I do not plead, I decree, let no faithful fall while my will stands. By Solana's flame, I anchor your lifelines. Live on, for order is not yet complete. And I cast Bless on the mother and the child, and myself, because I get 3. So they are now blessed, so they have an extra D4 on any saving throws they'll have to make, perhaps to avoid the carriage from impacting on them. They can maybe, make a dex save a little bit more easily. And that'll kind of be it for me as I just move closer and try and save them by sending forth Solana's blessing upon them.
Okay.
Your angst literally made Estelle's camera go out of focus like 3
Yeah,
times.
right.
Okay. L, you as you're running up this hill to get to the kid, you see the mom kind of trip and fall but get back up. There's a bat now that is in the mix because of course. The wagon's really close. The wagon's about 5 feet from these two at this point, and it's gonna hit him. You did see an older guy with starry robes, kind of doing some mojo, and like for a second, there was almost like a cloud moved just the right way to the kid and the mom were sort of bathed in like a little bit of sunlight. There was like a little bit of shade, but the cloud had like an opening that kind of brightened them up for just a second as the cloud moved on. But they have gotten together. She scooped him up, and like the bat is like pulling on the sleeve of his shirt a little bit to try to get them to move with his little claw paw things. I don't know. I guess claws. The bats don't have claws. What am I saying? But they're about to get hit by this wagon. So what do you do?
How far away am I now?
Okay, so you would have moved 30 feet. You were 60. So yeah, I would say roughly you're about 20 feet from the mom and the kid. And yeah, about 25 to 30 feet from the wagon.
Okay, I want to get between. Well, can I run up to the mom and kid and try to shove them out of the way?
Sure. Give me an athletics check.
You could take a hit.
They haven't.
Okay.
It's a wagon.
24.
This also reminds me, Bob, from that performance check. You obviously with the 4, that was not a successful performance check. So you have 1 luck point. Luck is something for Tales of the Valiant. Whenever you fail a saving throw, an attack roll, or a skill check. Sometimes skill checks are like, let's see what you do, like a scale of 1 to 10, like how good did you do something? But sometimes whenever there's a DC that you have to make, if you fail a skill check like that, you get 1 luck point.
Oh,
And
I didn't
luck point
realize
is
they were
something
like.
that you can use later to add a +1 to a d20 roll. There's a couple rules about how many you can have. If we get to that point, we'll explain it a little bit. But this is a little bit of a way to help players that are just having a rough day with the dice. I know all about that. I got stories. One quite legendary, actually. A very shameful session for me, which I'll share with you guys one of these days. So you have a little reserve of like little luck to kind of help you out on a session like that where it's just not
Gotcha.
going your way.
Okay.
To kind of give you like a little bit of a boost. So you do have one luck point.
Okay, great. I actually wasn't. I didn't know that there was like a official way to get it. Like I thought it was just up to you.
Just
but
like
that's
with
great.
inspiration, I'm sure we'll all forget at certain points to either use it or get it or whatever. We'll do our best. It's something new. It's not a major component. It's just like a little thing to kind of help players out when they're having a rough go with it.
I see it. Yeah, that's great.
But with a 24, Estelle, this athletics check is, more than enough. So you get to these folks. The woman,
that child and mother.
She's got the kid and she's kind of swiping at the bat. It's like she doesn't know where the bat came from. So now she's like, okay, we're gonna get crushed or eaten by a bat. Like, what's going on?
Or
there's
rabies.
no bats here. Where's the nearest cave is miles away. So she's like trying to shove the bat away from her kid at the same time. So you kind of get over there and do like sort of like a bear hug on them both, and do like a shove, but like also like a little bit of a toss. And so she lands on her back. Wind's knocked out of her, but they're out of danger. But this wagon is like right on top of you. Like you're in its shadow. I can take it. So that will be your turn, Calvin. So Beetlejuice is doing his best, and he's getting somewhere, but this wagon is just going faster and faster and faster, and it's getting closer and closer, and it's almost to the point where it's blocking your view of the kid and the mom. When you see this super tall, armored, half-orc warrior just haul ass up this hill, and grab the mom and the kid. And I guess Beetlejuice goes along for the ride because he's still clutching on the kid's shirt, so he kind of goes flying along with him. But like, just chucks them out of the way. They land on the ground, out of the way. But the wagon's about to run this Good Samaritan over. I'm talking like it's like 2 feet away now. It's like right on top of him. What do you do?
Yeah, that's a shame. I don't know that
I'm making a new character. Let's go.
I don't know that I can stop that from happening, but let's see. Now we're certain this thing is running out of control. I know that you described it as it's no horses, but does it seem to be moving with some sort of
Well, there's no horses, there's no driver, and it's been going downhill. So like the longer it's been traveling, the faster it's been going. And now, like, since it's effectively like just about to pass you, you can see the side of the stagecoach really, really well. And it's got these panels on the side and it really is like plywood infused with stones. And that would add a tremendous amount of weight. You can't see the other side of the wagon, but if there's another one of these, and there's like 2 or 3 of these panels kind of crudely hammered into the side of this wagon with these little slits on the sides. So, you'd need a minute to calculate the density and all that other stuff, but with just a quick taking it in, you know that this would add a lot of weight. So on a downhill roll, that would also increase its speed. And it was kind of erratically, like it wasn't centered, like it wasn't like a straight line. So it looks like an out of control wagon. Whether it's being propulsed by something else, you can't really tell. But it, as of right now, it doesn't look like anybody's got any control over what this thing does. And these modifications seem really, really strange. It's almost like it's fortified, kind of. I'd say with a 17 passive perception, like where the windows would be and the little side door where you kind of come out, those are completely covered by these panels. And it's a very strange type of wood, like wood infused with rocks. Like, what even is that?
Does it look like there's like, let's say Estelle or Elle were to duck, would the cart ride over her, or would it be like
If she was laying perfectly, because she's big,
Mm-hmm.
so if she kneels, like the top half of her is still in the danger zone, right? If she laid completely prone, flat on the ground,
All right,
as long as the wheels didn't get her.
I'm gonna cast sleep on her.
Okay.
I'm gonna lay her down.
Perfect.
Lay her
Perfect.
down.
All right.
So I
Like the
roll
Matrix
8d8.
dodge, but I just fall asleep instead.
Yeah, I roll 8d8, and if it gets to your hit points, you'll fall
Go
asleep.
for it.
Yeah. Let's see. I hope this works. I hope it don't kill you, Max. But we'll see. All right. What's your hit points? Is it high?
It's Oh yeah, you definitely got it.
Is it 42?
You got me. You got me.
You fall asleep, and I like I said, I have a high passive perception, but I also have I have 20 passive investigation. I took the scrutinous feat, so I analyze things well, and I know that this is like happening in all in real time here, but I'm like waiting for the moment where it's like I see it line up, and like I would bam cast a sleep spell. Also, I don't know if anybody else is in the area, but she would be the first to go down. But if there's anybody else within the area, like if there is a driver, let's say, I don't know. Again, wherever they might be subject to this. So, anyway,
Okay.
that's my action, and I then again stay on the. I'm not. I'll try to maybe get a little closer as long as I'm not like in the line of it. I can move like 30 feet, and I'll also tell Beetlejuice to just try to escort the kid further away from the.
Okay. So you cast your spell. You time it to you're looking at the lateral movement of the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
So Vigor,
Mm-hmm.
you see that orcish warrior that threw the umbrella. You see her run up to the kid and the mom, heroically throw them to the side. As the mom hits the ground, and only you see this, a little flash of light as they hit the ground, and she's sort of clutching at the kid. The bat just won't let go of this kid. What's going on with this bat? That's a whole nother problem.
Creatures of the night.
And
Awful.
you see this orcish warrior stand prepared, ready as this wagon bears down her, and then you see her just collapse.
What a terrible time
Face
to be
first.
narcoleptic.
Like her and like her face like lands in the little mud spot where the kid's making mud pies, like splat. But then you look over at the mom and the kid, and the mom, who was like clutching the kid like to her chest, like as tight as she could, as you would expect, like kind of just goes limp, and her arms kind of flop to the side, and she closes her eyes. Like you can't tell if she's alive or not, but she's like
I'm gonna
passed
kill all these people.
Just
and the bat's now tugging at this kid's shirt, who's just laying there unconscious on the mom's chest. Now the wagon looks like it's going to clear everybody.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
But right after it passes this orcish woman, there's this umbrella stuck in the ground.
Mhm.
And it looks like it's going to line up with one of the wheels. So as it passes this orcish woman, it's going to hit this umbrella, and it may just break. But this wagon, it is still heading towards the town circle, and there are lots of people. Like the commotion has caused a lot of people to get out of the way. But there's booths of merchandise. There's other people. People are scooping their it's just dawning on them what's happening. So there are still people around. So the danger's not over. The immediate danger for this one, kid is, they're fine, but there is still this basically like a tank. And I would say at this point too, you can see the panels on the sides of this wagon with this stone infused lumber all along the sides, and it's still coming at the town square.
And there's a dynamite merchant and a pillow merchant right next to each other, and you don't know which one
Sure.
it's going towards. Okay. Great. So
and there's
it's-
like by the dynamite merchant, there's a bunch of nuns. And by the pillow merchant is it was like a chain gang of prisoners on their way to like dig a trench.
Okay.
Right next to the orphanage.
There's
Yeah.
one guy.
And the orphanage is in between.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
There's one guy, and then there's 5 people. And
Yeah.
which one? It's a classic trolley problem.
There you go.
Classic runaway stagecoach problem. Okay, great. All right, I am blessed,
That's true.
and
You are
What?
blessed, CJ.
I am blessed by Solana, the great sun god. I'm going to. Now I was like 30 feet. I was probably 25-ish feet from the. Can I reach the cart from where I am at this point? I think.
I would say yeah, because it's just now kind of going over the orc.
Okay.
Passing over her because she's like flat on the ground, and although she's large in stature, like the stagecoach is a fairly big size too. It's made for like multiple passengers, so it's rolling over her with no problem. She's out of danger, but it is on and it's getting faster and faster. So you can get to it in this turn.
All right. So I do want to catch up to it and attack it with my warhammer and try and smash one of the wheels if I can.
Okay, perfect. Go for it.
So I will run up to it and using my warhammer. I didn't mean to roll with advantage, but it is a non-natural 20.
Nice.
But I'll roll my I don't know what the DC of a wagon wheel is, but with my bless, it's a 21.
Okay. Roll damage. You hit.
Okay. So 9 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Right to the spokes of the.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you
Stagecoach.
swing your warhammer, and you don't just damage the wheel. The whole wheel shatters.
Okay.
And it immediately is like starts tipping, but you are on that side of to get your angle on the wheel, so it's leaning like towards you, and it's veering to the side, like it's about to do like a sharp, out of control 90-degree turn. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw to jump out of the way.
Okay.
This thing's crashing right onto you.
It's okay.
And bless would be relevant for this too. It's a saving throw. So.
Dexterity saving throw.
If you want, I'll put you to sleep. I got one more spell.
That's a form of anesthesia, I guess.
It's a 9.
Okay. So the good news is you get a luck point.
Okay.
The bad news is you're going to take some damage here. Okay, not bad. You take 1 bludgeoning damage. As it sort of leans, it turns really sharp and it bonks you in the side of the head, and knocks you prone to the side. So kind of rings your bell a little bit, makes you a little groggy, and it makes this sharp turn and it crashes into the building just as it passes you. If you rolled the 1 on the save, you would have been running, but it just knocked. So it damages the front of this building. It was a barber shop, so it takes out the window. There's like a little an artificer made this little clockwork thing on the bottom to make the little peppermint swirly sign kind of spin. So like little clock parts go flying everywhere. There was a guy getting a shave, but he had like a hot date, so he didn't want a total shave, he just wanted it trimmed, and it comes through and he goes, it doesn't cut his jugular or anything, but it totally takes a big chunk of his beard off, so now he has this bald spot. Hey, what's going on? So there's a lot of commotion. Bang, it crashes into the thing here, and so now it's kind of turned sideways and it's in the middle of the street, so it's taking up a big section of the street.
No.
And there's a moment of calm as you kind of start to get your faculties and you stand back up again.
Has it come to a stop, Kyle, or is it still careening?
No, it turned and smashed into the building, which stopped it.
Okay, so it is okay.
But now it's sideways. So it's like blocking the street now in a way, sort of.
Okay.
And people are starting to like come out. They're checking on the people in the barbershop. They're, people are bringing children to safety, but they're coming out. Calvin, you can kind of look over at what's going on. And then you see out of those little slits, Calvin, that you saw in the sides of the wagon, short swords tied to the ends of really long poles come out of these holes, and they just start randomly kind of like poking out at the immediate area. So like people scramble away and they move away. It's like, we're under attack. What's going on? Oh my God. And you hear like this snarling kind of noise, kind of cackling from inside as like these, poles with swords on the end of them are kind of sliding back and forth. So now I'm going to move us to the map here.
Better not be kobolds.
Let's go to, where is it? It's over here.
Careful what you wish for. Or actually, you don't want it to be kobolds.
Okay, so I'm going to say L would be asleep over here. Calvin, I would say like you came down this way from your vantage point to see what was going on. And Vigor, you would have been knocked down like right about here. So this is sort of the center of town. This is this out of control wagon. And you can see like there's these sticks, these poles with swords on the end of them, just indiscriminately sort of swiping, seemingly not really aiming at anything, but and they're sort of all along the sides, swiping at anybody who might be nearby. We'll use the same
initiative
count here.
So L and then me and then
add a turn. How do I add
Vigor?
a turn? Actually, you know what? I'll do this.
And by the way, while you're fixing the initiative, Kyle, I'll just show the artwork here. So Estelle, this is your drawing, your original drawing.
Yeah.
And this is L. You said you drew this first. The personality came from it.
Well, it's the little doodle I showed. Yeah.
Yeah, looks great. And then now I don't feel so bad as using AI art for mine because we at least have some real art as well as some of the tokens. But this is me. This is Calvin, very wizardly looking dude. And then down here, CJ, this is your halfling.
Mm-hmm. That is Vigor.
Vigor,
Also
not Vigor.
AI art.
You can tell who
I don't
the
know.
real artists are. We're just
Yeah.
we're just driving her nuts.
Okay, so we're going to use the same initiative, and we'll start from the top. So, L, you are still asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're getting a nice,
Wait.
a nice
do I
rest.
can I do a save at all?
I don't think. You get it from
How does
sleep,
that
but
work?
Sleep doesn't have it. It just you fall asleep until you're woken up.
Oh,
so
yeah, I think somebody has to wake you up.
yeah,
Oh,
and I
okay.
do plan on waking you up. I apologize, but let's see. It does say
I could have taken that wagon.
someone has to use an action to shake or slap the sleeper awake.
All right, so
hell
so
of an
your
intro.
turn. Unfortunately, you're asleep, but Calvin, you are up next.
Yeah, so I kind of started running down that path, so I'm next to L, and I will shake you awake. And when you finally come to, you see this old man with the beard hair practically touching your chin. He's looking at you with concern. He says, "You have to get up. There's danger."
Yeah, so you for a moment there, L, you saw the wagon coming, and then it was just sort of darkness. So like as you're kind of waking up, like, oh my God, am I? Is this the afterlife?
You're
and you
all
see
right.
this old guy sort of, there's mud all in your mouth and everything, and it's like, there's like you can feel like chunks of the dried.
I definitely
mud
have the
come
urge
fall.
to like grab this spear that is like tickling my face to just yank on that.
Well, careful with the beard, but someone of your great strength and bravery is needed. It is your time. Go forth. And I'll also motion for Beetlejuice to come over and survey the scene. So are these this is the wagon. Where are the swords coming out? Are these the pokes?
yeah.
What are they exactly? They are a weapon.
They're like wooden poles with, and each one has a short sword like tied with a rope to the end of it. So
Mm.
kind of like a spear, but
Mhm,
kind of
mhm.
hobbled together, I guess you would say. And they're sticking out like every couple of, I'd say there's like two coming out of the back and a
Mhm.
couple coming out of each side, and they're just sort of at the moment, like all the commotion, like there's not a lot of people around,
Mhm.
but there are some. Some are trying to either flee where they are, they get away from the wagon, but some would have to go past it and things like that, and they're a little bit
Gotcha.
confused. So
So I want
they're
Beetlejuice.
avoiding the.
I want Beetlejuice to analyze the wagon and find a way in. That's what I want.
Okay, okay. All right. Let's do a check here. Let's see. I don't know.
And that'll be my turn because my action was actually waking Estelle up.
Okay. Let's do an impromptu bat wisdom check here.
Sure.
Ooh, nat one.
Does the bat get luck?
So it's flapping around. It's looking around. But it hasn't found anything.
He wasn't quite the academic.
Yeah. Vigor, you're up.
Okay. I will say, when I took damage, I was concentrating on Bless.
Okay.
But I did take the feat called Combat Caster.
Mm.
So that allows, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I just had it. It says, when you make a con save to maintain concentration on the spell, treat any d20 roll of 7 or less as though you rolled an 8. I also have +2 to Constitution, which means
There
I
you go.
can't roll a 10 or less
There you go.
on Constitution
Nice.
saves for spells. So unless you do 20 damage to me, I won't lose concentration on spells.
I
Awesome.
think you'd have bigger problem. We don't have bigger problem.
If we were taking 20 damage, yes. But I did want to say that I did forget to roll, but also it didn't
Right.
technically matter.
All right. You got it. You're all good. Bless is still up.
So Bless is still up. So the woman and the child are still blessed. They're sleeping and blessed. They're probably having dreams of Solana and her grace and beauty. I do not have control of my character icon. I'm gonna.
Hang
Do you
on.
want to leave that one, or do you want me to drag one in?
Drag one in. See if it works.
Yeah, if I drag one in, I can control this one.
Oh, okay. Good.
If you want to.
Kyle, you know what
He's
happened?
multiplying.
Yeah, you might have had these in before I retooled some of the settings.
All right.
Probably why. But they should work
Alright.
now. From now on.
Okay.
There you go. So I am there. All right. So from here, can I see? I can't see anything into the stagecoach at this
Yeah,
point, right?
the little slits
All
that
I
the poles are
see-
coming out of like are pretty small. That also kind of means you get the impression that whoever's in there can't see outside of it either.
Yeah, they're kind of swinging wildly.
Yeah, because these panels of wood are like covering the sides and the back. Like you're not even sure how whoever's in there how they get in and out.
Okay. Back to spells. None of these really help. Let's see, does this one require? Have to be able to see the creatures. Can I
Bust in there.
maneuver? Can I maneuver myself up like outside of the range of these flailing things so that I
Sure.
can get a view inside, like through a hole or something? So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to try and see if I can get in there and look through and be able to cast a spell at whatever's in there. Like,
All right. Why don't you give me an investigation check?
I will be happy to.
If you have any sort of proficiencies, like if you're like proficient with carpentry tools or something like that, you can add a proficiency on top of something or something
No,
like
I
that.
I have an investigation proficiency, but it's not going to help that much. No, with 7.
Oh, you have
Oh,
Bliss doesn't work on skill checks, right?
and not skill checks, saving throws, and attacks.
Okay. So the good news is you get another luck point.
Hooray!
I would say, yeah, these panels are kind of covering up a lot of the sides. of
Okay.
this wagon. I mean, it's got one less wheel. I would say this one here on the opposite side is the one you destroyed.
Okay.
So it's not like this thing is like indestructible or anything like that. But these panels, now that you're really, really close, it's this weird infusion of really high quality wood and stone. Kind of like, like if you were looking at a stone and it had a vein of an ore in it, like it's a part of the stone, but it's another substance. Like it's kind of like that. Like the lumber is like naturally somehow reinforced by this stone. So that looks very durable. That looks very, tough. But you know that the wagon wheel you hit kind of crumpled pretty easily.
Okay. So naturally or unnaturally fused?
Well, you've never seen anything like that before.
So I would assume that it's unnatural and magical. But, oh, wait. I have small folk stuff.
Oh.
I can once per day when I fail a save, re-roll the die and use the new roll.
Ooh.
Do it.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know if that...
You're going to learn so much.
I guess I'd have to know that I failed. So I'm going to re-roll that investigation. Maybe I can do better. Hey, that's better.
Okay. So you don't get the luck point from the...
I do get a luck point, though, because according to...
Oh, yeah, that small folk have luck.
Regardless of whether the new roll is a success or failure, you generate 1 luck.
Oh, so there you go.
I'm still at 2.
Yep. Okay.
2 luck.
I would say with investigation, you kind of peek under the wagon looking for like a hatch or something. You don't see anything. It's what the bottom of a wagon would look like. However, with a 17, I would say, although you're not a carpenter, you can tell that the actual wagon itself is very old and kind of weathered and kind of broken down and doesn't look all that sturdy. And these panels on the side are hammered into the side of this wagon, but you can even kind of see like there'd be like a nail, like a big crude iron nail, like in the corner, right? The lower corner, like where you're standing, you can see a crack in the actual wood of the wagon from this nail. So you know that while these panels are probably incredibly sturdy, especially that they're partially stone, the wagon itself probably pretty brittle comparatively.
Amateurs.
Okay. So that doesn't help me with what I was hoping to do, which was see in and cast onto some creature that's in there. But I can I still use an action to attack the wagon, or just try and...
Sure.
All right, so I'm going to use my action. I'm going to once again swing my warhammer and bash the wagon at one of its weak points that I've now noticed. Oh, and that's a nat 1. I totally missed the weak point, and somehow
small folk. Oh wait,
hit.
Yeah, you hit one of the stone sections of the thing, and it bong, and it kind of like reverberates and shakes you a bit. Yes. Another question I have for you guys: what languages does your character speak?
Lots.
Common and Orcish.
Common, Celestial, and Halfling. So that I can speak to my mistress.
Common, Celestial, Elvish, Goblin, Orc. That's it.
Perfect. Okay. So the two of you, Elle and Calvin, from up the street, you see this halfling in these dark, with this dark hood and dark armor with this blazing sort of symbol on his chest. Like you both were kind of fixated like in the other direction. You really didn't even notice him at first, but like once the wagon passed you guys and you guys kind of got up and were looking over, you see this halfling kind of come up and he tries to hit the wagon and all this stuff. uh,
Totally saves the day, by the way.
well, the first thing you notice is those poles with the short swords on them. They start to kind of slow down. And I would say, Calvin, because you speak Goblin, the voices are kind of muted because they're inside this like sealed wagon kind of thing. But you kind of hear these muffled like, "Oh, get us out of here! Get us out of here! It's so hot!" And the poles are like slowing down.
Oh, they're calling for help.
Well, they're a little bit muted. You can't make out all of the words, but you do hear them say that, basically say that they're trying to get out, and it's really hot in here, and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And I'll erase the tokens you guys can't move,
Thank you.
which might mess up the initiative thing. Oh no, it's still there.
We're good.
Yeah. Okay. So Elle, you're up.
Cool. I have proficiency with land vehicles. Do I know what this
Okay.
thing is?
Okay. So now that you're getting a closer look at it, this looks like a stagecoach, a kind of dilapidated one, with these crazy wood panels on the side, kind of hammered into the sides of it, like reinforced. But that's what you can make out from the exterior. I mean, it doesn't look anything special about it. There doesn't appear to be anything like attached to it or anything like that. But besides these poles coming out of the sides, it's just a wagon with panels hammered onto it.
Okay. The little the small man, he you found a weak point in it, or he made a weak point?
Well, he swung his hammer. It didn't do anything, but he's definitely like you saw him attack the wagon itself.
He must be an assailant.
Can I try to like see if there are any sort of like weak points or any type of like entrance type of thing?
Well, being familiar with land vehicles, you would see that any of the ways in that would have been there already have been covered up by these panels. And you can see like that bat that was with the kid before, it's like fluttering around on the top. But it doesn't seem to be able, you can't really tell what it's doing, but it is kind of surveying the top of this thing, kind of circling it. And the halfling gentleman, he'd be low enough to see underneath. So from your vantage point, there doesn't look like to be any way in or out.
The bat means no harm. Make your own way in.
Just kill the bat straight up. No other objective.
Pull out a crossbow and take aim.
It's a rabid bat. It's gonna go down.
It's broad daylight.
It's clearly the greatest danger here. I'm gonna go up next to the halfling because I saw you like hitting it. And wherever you're trying to hit at it, any weak point, I'm going to just try to hack at it as well and try to crack this thing open.
Take a swing.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Okay. Well, the good news is you have a luck point.
Luck point.
All right.
But sort of just like Vigor, you
hit
took
the
a wild
exact same
swing
spot.
at it, and like as you reared up with the sword, like that pole with the short sword on it kind of knocked into your sword and messed up your swing. So it kind of hit a stone part of the panel that's been hammered into the side, and didn't really do any damage. Okay. Calvin, it is your turn.
Got a feeling we're gonna get a lot of luck in this campaign. Okay, so I saw that now that the two of them are trying to break in, and I'm seeing all this luck happen here. Calvin doesn't really like luck, and I really want to use this spell, so I think I'm gonna use if he's willing, I guess, because I guess he has to be willing. I'll move to get better sight of the halfling. Because I know that they're relatively lucky people. So let's see. I'm gonna cast Pendulum on CJ.
What?
Okay.
Is
CJ,
pendulum?
I guess in theory you can try to oppose this, but I'll tell you what Pendulum does. It's actually, when I saw this, it was one of the most unlike D&D 5e spells that I ever seen. So I had to take it. I'll read it to you. I have to touch you, actually, so I have to go to you. So I'm going to go to you. I'll go behind you.
Ah.
Oh, you know what? I don't know. Can you do touch spells with your familiars in this game?
I believe so. Yeah.
So then I will stay behind because I'm not much of an upfront guy. I will send the bat over. Beetlejuice. Stabilize the
You've
luck
said
of
it
this
3 times.
creature. And I'll send him over, and he'll just land on you, on your head, freak you out, but touch you. Here we go. So give the touch creature
Rabies!
an aspect of regularity in its motions and fortunes. If you're unwilling, you take a save, but we're going to forego this, I think. Well, it's up to you, but here's what happens. You don't make D20 checks to determine the results of your next attack rolls, ability checks, or saves for the duration of this spell. Instead, when you would make a check, you follow this sequence of numbers. 1, 20, 2, 19, 3, 18, 4, 17, and so on. The creature affected by the spell can repeat the save at the end of each of its turns if you choose to do so, ending the effect in a success. If all the results on the d20 are exhausted, the spell also ends. So yeah, advantage, disadvantage don't apply. Luck doesn't apply. You just go all the way on the spectrum like a pendulum. So good luck. I want to see how this works. Do you want to oppose this?
I mean, I don't. It's your bat is now landing on me. You haven't explained to me. You haven't made any like. You haven't been like, just let the bat do what it's gonna do, or like
do it.
Your character isn't like trying to like give me any like assurances that this is going to happen. I am going to have to make this wisdom save.
I want you to try to make it. Go ahead.
Just because in character, I'm not gonna have some.
It's a creature of the night too.
Yeah, creature of the night. No way.
Let's see it. It's a 13 is my DC.
Wisdom saving throw. I'm really good at wisdom saves, but not that good.
So
That's
you're
a 3rd luck token.
So there you go. And
I'm
now
sensing a theme.
now you're in the pendulum. Okay, you're in the pendulum. Now what I'm hoping,
So-
CJ, is that somebody now does something to you.
Then I
And
have to make
then-
a save.
You'd have to make a save or do something or whatever, you know. But
Yeah.
what do you go next? Actually, you might just go next. So,
I think I do go next.
well, either way, go ahead.
Unless
Okay.
there is something
Vigor,
else.
it is your turn.
Can I just
Great.
add one thing? When I see him start to, try to resist and shoo away Beetlejuice, I will take the clue and be like, "The bat means you no harm. I am a friend." And I call out, and you see a wizard. Literally, he looks like the quintessential wizard in the distance.
Okay.
I like this sun and moon thing you guys got going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Disgusting creatures of the night.
So now how do you react? What do you do next?
to your
Is
cave.
your turn? Is it his turn?
It is
Yep,
my
it is.
turn.
Do you attack the bat?
I can attack. I will not. I'm gonna nat 1 no matter whatever I do next. So, what can I? I mean, I can try. I guess I can attack the stagecoach again, or
Right. I don't know if Kyle's making you roll it to hit roll or not, but if it doesn't, then obviously you don't roll a d20. This only happens if you have to roll a d20.
Yeah, and I mean I had to roll the last time to
Yeah,
hit.
yeah, this would be an attack.
This would be an attack. And yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna assume I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to attack the stagecoach again, and I'm gonna get a nat 1, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing that I did last turn. Apparently,
Okay.
just nat 1 it.
Yep.
It's-
So that
it's
would count as a
coming.
nat 1. So yeah, you're like, I hit the stone last time, but I loosened it. So you swing the hammer again,
And
again, and kind of.
and this time I'm like, ugh, the
Calvin may be
fates
the
are
real.
against me this time.
Calvin might be the real villain in this episode.
Okay. So
It's
anything
that
else on your
bat
turn? Do you want to
distracting
move
me.
or any other bonus action type stuff you want to do?
What do I have for? Oh, oops, I didn't need to click that. That's concentration. I guess. Well, no, yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I have nothing else.
Okay. So after you hit the side of the wagon, the sticks
Clicking thing.
with the short swords, they kind of go limp. They kind of just kind of stop wherever they are, and they just kind of lean down and stop moving. And from your vantage point, because you're so low to the ground, you can see the underbelly of the wagon. You hear like boom, 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 and like the wood kind of cracks. Like something from the inside hit the bottom of the wagon and cracked it a little bit. And that is going to be that. So next, we're back to L.
Cool. I'm going to just use the pommel of my sword to just try to bash through.
Okay.
And I look over to the guy next to me like, "Are you okay? That bat attacked you.
I don't know.
Do you want me-"
It distracted me, and I couldn't even hit this cart. Solana's blessings be upon you.
There we go.
Yeah.
Roll damage.
You say that as I like go. Okay.
Okay.
11.
So you strike with the pommel of your sword, and you strike like right near where one of those nails is hammered into the lumber, and you hit the panel, because that's what's sort of exposed, like what you have access to, but the wood behind it splinters and fractures and kind of breaks away, and so the panel starts to come loose, and then it's kind of like a chain reaction. Like you start looking up, and like where there, each spot where there's a nail in the side of this panel, like it's slowly, and like it just starts breaking apart, and then the panel kind of swings away and breaks off, so the whole back of this wagon just kind of basically breaks away. So the back of the wagon over here is now open. Not only did the panel fall up, but it took chunks of the wagon with it. And inside the wagon are, and they come spilling out. So, hang on, let me move everything over here. So, are 4 goblins.
Goblin clown car.
They kind of, as soon as the piece breaks off, they all just kind of jump out and land on the ground. And they kind of stand up, and they're looking around, and they're cackling in Goblinese, which you don't speak. Each one, I believe, has a scimitar in their hand. And they're kind of flailing around and screaming in Goblin. It's still your turn. Do you want to do anything else?
I mean, that was my main attack. Hold on. Let me try to. Hold on. Because I also have certain attack. Oh. Nah, everything I do has to go with an attack roll, and I already attacked the wagon. So I'm just going to try to just get as close to these guys and just hope that they see me as the target.
Okay.
And I just ready myself for a fight.
All right. So Calvin, you see these goblins. You see the orcish warrior kind of smash into the wagon. It kind of falls apart basically. That big piece of lumber is kind of on the ground. It's still intact. It made like a lot of noise as it hit the ground, and these goblins spill out, and you understand their language. And they're like, "Oh, it was so hot in there. It's so hot. Ah, all right, we got to finish this before the boss gets pissed off. Oh wow, she's tall." So they're a little discombobulated. They're a little out of it. So that's what you hear them say, sort of as they spill out, and you see the orcish warrior kind of stand amongst them. They are armed. It is your turn. What do you do? Oh, did we lose Bob?
Sorry, I was muted. I was just about to say I was on their side a little bit. I was like, I was about to tell them we freed them and everything, and now I hear that they're going to try to finish the job, and oh god. So I'll tell them in Goblin, and I'm going to use. Does anyone look particularly injured or no?
I would say you don't
like
see
obviously,
anything.
I'm not taking an
wound
action
on
or anything. Just like if
Yeah.
there's someone's like bloody or something like that,
No.
Okay. Then the one
They're
that's
sweating.
closest.
They're perspiring a lot.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then the one that's closest to Estelle and me, like this middle one, where I know that she might be able to finish the job, I'm going to call to that one, and I'm going to say, in Goblin, asteroids have more direction than you. And I'm going to use Vicious Mockery.
Okay. All right, and that's the saving throw, right?
It is a saving throw, and I was just looking for it in the book. Because I just want to make sure it's the same as it is for, like, D&D. Here we go. Vicious Mockery. Yeah, it's a cantrip, 60 feet, wisdom saving throw, or take 1d4 psychic damage and have disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes.
Okay.
Save is
Wisdom
13.
saving throw. 6.
Suck it.
He takes damage.
He takes 4.
He immediately drops dead.
Oh my god. Okay. I kind of recoil in horror. Like I don't think I've killed many.
So the two
creatures.
of you hear this guy in the fancy, starry robes. Elle, from grabbing at his beard, like it's very well manicured and it's got beard oil in it and things like that. You hear him cackle something and sound a lot like the goblins. He just sort of shouts at one, and then it just like has a heart attack or something. He just beckons to it, and it drops dead.
Who's the real evil here?
Oh, God.
So you still have the rest of your turn, Calvin. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna back away and tell
No.
tell Beetlejuice to aid Elle in attacking. Let's say this one that's closer to the wagon, the one to her left, and he'll distract it by like flying above its head and give you an opening. And I'll move backwards so that one can't. I'll move as far back as I can so that one won't reach me in a turn.
Do I know that you're controlling the bat? Did you like yell at it? Or
I have yelled multiple times, like leave the bat alone, and told CJ's character that the bat means no harm. Let it be. I've said it multiple. I haven't said explicitly don't attack the bat, but I certainly have mentioned like that the bat is not an enemy, and it's also distracting the goblin for you, so it probably makes sense. I would think.
Okay. Next up is Vigor.
Okay. Let me make sure this is a bonus action. Okay. I will going to hold up now that I can see these horrid creatures, these cave dwellers, these creatures who do not know the light of the mistress. I will hold my Warhammer, and I will say a small prayer. Let me find it. Where is it? Here we go. By the Sanctifier's decree, let this hammer become the axis of justice. Through impact I align, through force I impose, let the world remember the weight of law. and I cast basically Holy Weapon on the Warhammer, and I will come up here, and I will attack my power until the spell ends. Your attacks deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage on hit. So I'm going to attack this goblin.
You don't have to roll because
I don't have to roll. It's a nat 20.
Because the pendulum has swung, my friend.
Yes.
So it's automatically a nat 20. So it's
a crit.
Double the dice for the weapon and double for the extra damage from the spell.
Auto crits, CJ.
Yep. That's why I cast the Divine Favor.
Why the spell is so good. Pendulum.
And
gonna be great. This is gonna be a great campaign.
Oh, that was weak. It's 11 damage.
So you see this small armored cloaked person come up, and his weapon shines bright with sunlight infused holy energy, and he like liquefies this goblin. It's just like a big overhand two-handed swing, splat. He just comes down, and there's just goo on the ground from that. So we've got one intact goblin corpse and one liquefied one, but that one is dead.
Now Vigor's feeling like more empowered because he's like, I couldn't attack. He like failed 2 rolls in a row against that cart, but now like he's cast he's asked for Solana's divine favor, and she's given it to him, and he's just smashed this goblin without even like feeling like he had to even try at all. Like it was like the most natural thing for him to do this. It's like, he doesn't. Goblins.
Yeah. He looks at the other ones. You give me 12 seconds. I got more of that for you too.
Yeah. You're next.
In 12 seconds.
He's gonna totally miss the next one. He's gonna be like, no.
Okay. Next up is the goblins. So let's see. This one's I guess this one would run up on the wizard because he just like cursed out his friend, and then his friend dropped dead.
I will say one thing though, Kyle. I did say I'm going to move as far back as I can. And just the mat ends here, so
Okay.
I would be more than 30 feet away from this goblin right here. So I don't know if that'll affect his decision.
Oh yeah, that's true. All right. Well, let's. Oh, hang on. They got a special move here. Hold on.
And just a quick thing with the chat. Some people were asking questions. So in this game, this is Tales of the Valiant. This is not D&D. This is a completely different RPG entirely. Kobold Press makes it. So they do have a lot of 5e rules. They use, I think, the what was it called? The SRD for 5e. So it is, a lot of the things are very similar. So you might be like, oh, this is just like D&D. But the spells are broken up differently because wizards normally can't take Vicious Mockery, but the way that they do it in this book is they're broken up to like 4 or 5 categories. There's like divine magic, arcane magic, weird magic is one of them. The druid's natural one is something else. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, primal or primordial or something
like that. Exactly. So once each class takes spells from one or multiple categories, and so wizard takes arcane, and it just happens to share. There's a lot of spells that maybe traditionally wizards don't take. But they're in the arcane section now, so you can. So it's a little different than D&D, and I also may be wrong. So if I'm wrong, correct me, everybody. But that's the way that I read the rules. So
I will correct you on it's the OGL that they use, which is the Open Game License.
Oh,
not the SRD, which is the standard reference document.
Gotcha.
Which are 2 different things.
So they used the OGL, which was the controversy a couple years ago, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so they're going to use a special move, these goblins, called Gang Up. And it's slightly less effective because 2 of them are dead. Goblin moves up to half its speed towards the creature it can see. Each friendly goblin within 30 feet can use its reaction to join the gang up and move up to half its speed towards the same target. Movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. If the initiating goblin is within 5 feet of the target, which this guy will be, and then this guy will move over here. So they both are. The target must make a dexterity saving throw, and we'll see what happens if you pass or fail. So please, L, make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. That's a 20.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're going to take half damage from the initial guy, +1 for each additional goblin. So it's only going to be 1. Yeah. So they kind of try to do like a double team move on you here. So this is going to be half damage +1. Whoop, there it goes. Okay. So half of 2 is 1, +1 is 2. You take 2 slashing damage from this little gang up move here. I guess really quick, also give me, I guess this would be a perception check.
Okay. I have advantage on perception checks.
What's that?
Always?
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah.
Or hearing, yeah.
Okay, so it's
This would be a sight-based check.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, they have like, it's not just dark vision. There's also like, because there's a lot of like beast races, like bear folk and raven folk, and so they have like these little things here and there to give you like little bonuses to certain abilities. So, yeah, with a 19, these goblins are really sweaty, and they look like dehydrated, and look significantly weakened. Like literally 2 of these guys just like bum rushed you with their swords, and like it barely scratched you. Like it cut the skin, you took some damage, but like you fought enough goblins to know that like these guys are like a shell of the typical goblin abilities.
Yeah.
So that was their turn. Elle, you're up.
Okay.
Remember, you have advantage on this one from the aid.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out the stats on something here. Okay, so I'm going to use my attack action to get the one that I'm going to have advantage against. And I'm also going to use disarm on top of that. So let's see if I hit. Does a 21?
Oh, that's definitely a hit.
Okay, and I'm also going to try to disarm. So, on a hit, okay, the creature needs to make a strength or dex save. And then it'll drop its weapon, shield, or object it's wielding.
Okay, and so this is in lieu of the damage? Or does it still? Because I know some of those fighter abilities, the weapon options, you still do the damage, and some of them you don't. It's instead of the damage.
Like, this is, like, taken straight from it.
Yeah, attack on a hit, the target must have said...
Can I do, like,
I think the ones that do damage specifically say so.
Okay, well... Okay.
Kind of makes sense, you hit their weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll make... let's see, stat-wise... Oh, he'll definitely make a dex check. They're not very strong. So they're going to do a dexterity saving throw. A 6.
It is disarmed.
Okay. Okay, so he also... All right, so he... I'll just leave the same marker. So he also doesn't have... so the help action thing has been used up, but he has dropped his... He doesn't have his sword anymore. Okay.
And for my bonus action, I'm going to use guard, and I'm going to guard against the top guy.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Calvin, it's your turn.
I'm going to use Vicious Mockery on this one here.
Okay. And that was a wisdom save, right?
Yep, the wisdom save, the one that is up to the north that still has a weapon.
Wisdom saving.
I'll say
throw.
the stars aren't aligning for you today.
He got a 3.
He takes a d4 as well, so damage coming in is another 4.
And he is dead.
Yep.
And don't you want to end concentration on Pendulum?
Not really. Actually, I really love Pendulum the way it's working. But I also am gonna say good idea to the half orc, and say, disarming that one. Take it as prisoner. And I will come closer, 30 feet. I'll come to where my original spot was, so I can get a little more in the action. And I look at Vigor. I don't really know him well, but I know the pendulum is swinging the other way, and reluctantly, I'll take it away.
All right.
You're welcome, CJ.
Okay.
Let's see if I can hit the guy.
All right, that's Calvin's turn.
Take him as prisoner.
Vigor, you're up.
All right. Well, I will. As I said earlier, there's always a goblin. You got to take. You got to take one goblin prisoner whenever there's multiple. So I will attack this goblin, but to knock it out unconscious, not kill it.
Okay. So non-lethal. Okay.
Non-lethal damage from this attack. I keep hiding my character sheet here. Non-lethal, but let's see. Oh God! Another natural 20.
Nat 20 when you didn't
And
have
non
pendulum.
lethally bashing
And,
his
and with your
sword.
holy infused longsword?
With my
or
holy
Warhammer,
infused
rather?
Warhammer.
Yeah, roll damage.
Yep. That would be. Ooh, that's that.
Take
plus-
him prisoner.
Yep. Plus 2d4.
4. Plus, and I'm gonna do this. So manifestation of faith, manifestation of might. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can deal additional radiant or necrotic damage, your choice, equal to your proficiency bonus. Ah, no, you know,
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that.
That might kill him.
And that might kill him because that's like magic damage. But yeah, there you go.
So you run up to this goblin with all intent of not issuing a crippling blow. You're like, oh, I'll swing at his knee or his hip or something just to knock him on the ground so we can pin him and shackle him. And as you're swinging your holy energy sun infused warhammer, you're like, oh, this was such a mistake. As like it hits into like the creature's hip, and then you just hear bones breaking. Like on the outside, you don't see a lot of damage happen. Like you just hear, and the goblin's eyes kind of bug out, and he'd already dropped the sword, so his hands are just like, ah! And then like the holy energy, like the sun energy, like scorches like one whole side, and he just kind of gets stiff and then just kind of topples over on the ground. So, I mean, he might be alive, but you're like, oh, probably not. Probably. Ooh.
He may not last for very long, but he is alive, probably.
Is that the end of combat?
I was just like, does like this little look over there, like.
Calvin, as that savage warhammer attack just came down on this goblin, you hear him as the hammer is coming at him, like before it hits, you do hear the goblin say, "Ah, the sweet freedom of death," as it just kind of just bashes right into him and just takes him out as he hits the ground. You see Beetlejuice up in the air above the wagon, and he's like pointing, like he like flap, and then like points with his winged hand, and then goes, and then like flaps again to keep himself up, and then points down to the top. And you guys hear the roof of the wagon sort of like it's taking these blows, like boom, boom, and then it bursts open at the top. Which was completely unnecessary because the back of the wagon was open. So it's like an attempt at a dramatic entrance, but you can see him kind of crawling up through the hole because the back of the wagon is open. But you see another goblin climb up on top of the wagon. And he's dressed in like this super colorful, flashy, flamboyant jacket with these long tassels kind of hanging down. And he is on top of the wagon and he's looking around and he's shouting to anyone that will hear him. Now, I have to warn you, what happens next may give me an aneurysm, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm going all out. Got to go all out for Tabletop Bomb. So, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, the macho goblin Dib is on the scene. He's in your town messing around. Yeah, Lady in the Lake showed me the way to infamy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm losing it. I'm taking you all down. Everybody's going to remember the name. I'm the greatest goblin professional wrestler that's ever lived. And I'm alive right now. Yeah. I'm going to take you all down. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, bravo.
I'm still alive. I'm still here.
And is he attacking us?
Oh, yeah. He immediately attacks.
Okay.
Hang on. I got to get... So now he's on the token layer. So a goblin comes flying off the top
rope,
sort of, and he's going to leap at L and at Vigo here. So let me get his. Okay. So he gets 2 attacks. So he's going to jump off the wagon and come at L with a big elbow. And then when he lands, he's going to try to clothesline Vigo. Or Vigor. Excuse me. So first we're going to do the big elbow. With a 9. Probably not going to hit. Apropos for a goblin. And then he's going to turn and he lands on his feet and he tries to clothesline L here. With a 17?
That hits. Oh, is it?
No, against Vigo was a 9.
Vigo. Okay.
Oh,
no, wait, no, the big elbow was on L. Yeah, because she's too tall for him to clothesline. So the big L, there's a 9 against L and a 17 against Vigo.
17 hits me,
Right.
just barely. I was distracted.
Right. So you take 7 professional wrestling damage, which is non-lethal. So he comes diving off the wagon, oh yeah, and like you bat his elbow away with your shield, and then ooh yeah, and then he comes up with the big clothesline on Vigo, or Vigor. I keep calling him Vigo.
And this is it's very hard.
And then gotta be a master of your surroundings. Yeah, Lady in the Lake told me where it's at. So he's going to use his bonus action to disengage, and then he's going to move over here. So his back is to this building here, so he can't get surrounded. Ooh, yeah, running wild. Okay, so that was his turn. Elle, you're up. This goblin is dead.
Go back to the D20, the roll 20 view.
Oh yeah, true.
Just for the audience's sake. I know we thought the combat was over, but it was not.
Well, I'm glad I had Kyle in the big feature frame for that Macho Man moment.
That was important. Very important.
I can only sustain that voice for so long. It's like the veins just start bulging.
Okay. Wait, where is he? Oh, he's over. Oh, he went over there. Okay.
Yeah, his token's a little hard to see, but
okay, I'm gonna run over to him, and I'm gonna take a swing at him with my sword. Okay, that's a 9.
okay. So the good news is you have a luck point. Your swing goes wide as he kind of sidesteps,
Alright.
Uh,
And for my
Ooh
bonus-
yeah, Master Wrestler Dib, coming at you.
Oh,
for my bonus action, I'll put myself on guard
Okay,
against him specifically.
Calvin,
I have
you're up.
2 targets.
Let's see. So he's the big bad here. So I'm gonna vicious mockery him. So DC 13.
okay.
I
Wisdom.
rolled my concentration. It was a 5, but it's actually a 10.
Right.
I still
Wisdom
roll it.
saving throw. 3.
All right. So he takes some damage. He also has disadvantage on his next attack.
Okay.
He takes 2 damage. Or his
Okay,
next,
2
I guess it could be his next check in general. It doesn't necessarily have to be an attack. It's disadvantage on, oh no, it is. Actually, it's his next attack roll that he makes. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's vicious mockery.
promo, brother.
And I'm going to say, I've seen shooting stars shine brighter. And I'm going to go back towards the halfling, get out of the way. And I'm going to have Beetlejuice go over and distract him for L's next attack.
Okay. Okay. Vigor, you're up.
Oh, it's not going to be L's next attack that is helped by the bat.
Oh, yeah,
it's gonna
true.
be mine. And I will move up and I'll say, "Ooh, that clothesline didn't like it. And who is this lady of the lake? She is no sun god." And I will attack with
Handicap matches my speciality. Yeah.
bash. This is with advantage.
Yes, with the help of Beetlejuice the Bat.
Okay.
Yes.
Advantage. Okay, 17.
That will hit.
All right. So still with all of the attacks. So that
Oh yeah, with the extra. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
that's 6. Oh wait. Oh yeah. This is the holy damage, and this time I'll add the proficiency bonus. Radiant.
That's another
damage.
2, right?
That's another 2.
All right. So that's a
So-
total of 9.
9.
Okay. So just like Saturday Night's main event, his enemies have to resort to the use of barbaric animal attacks to neutralize the Macho Man. So he's distracted by the bat, and you smash him in the ribs with your divinely infused warhammer. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay. It's his turn. So he
probably
is
gonna-
going to do 2 attacks. I guess. Yeah, he's going to do 1 clothesline on L, which will be at a disadvantage. And then he'll do 1 on Vigor. So the first clothesline against L is disadvantage. That's a 12. That'll probably miss. And then the second one is against Vigor is normal. 22
Oh no, that hits. Why?
or 3 damage.
Oh.
It's because you guys are at the same like height. He's able to do it.
Yep, I am knocked unconscious by that.
Ooh yeah, ref distracted, got the low blow. Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
Kyle, just to make sure, he did have disadvantage on that next attack, right?
Yeah, he had disadvantage on the one against L. He only got a 12.
Oh, gotcha. Not CJ's. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So L, you see a big clothesline. You don't have to do death saves, CJ, because this is non-lethal.
Okay.
Because that's got to keep it kayfabe. So you're just unconscious.
Technically, it's all fake, right? Wrestling is just
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah, like you're awake, but for some reason you feel compelled to lay on the ground and pretend you're alcohol. L, you're up.
Okay. I'm just gonna attack this guy.
Okay.
Because it's been a weird minute of her life.
It's been a weird one for her, yeah. Actually, for both of your characters, it's been super weird.
Okay, so I'm just gonna swing. and a miss.
You have luck though. Can
Apparently.
you spend it? Oh, I don't know how much you have.
I don't think it's gonna be enough.
3 luck points lets you re-roll.
I only got 2.
Well, now you get 3.
You do have action surge. Action surge is in this.
Is it? Aren't I too low level?
You might get it 2nd level.
Oh yeah. You know what? You might be right. Hold on, let me check.
Mhm.
Because I thought it was 1st level. Hold on.
Not in
Yeah,
5e.
I know that there's a change to like the second wind mechanic because it's not
Mhm.
exactly the same.
Yeah, that's like the second one is like the last stand.
Yeah, it's a reaction rather than
Mhm.
Yeah.
but really action surge is 2nd level. Let me double check that real fast.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Uh,
Because yeah, it's 2nd.
oh wow. Oh, because you get the weapon stuff and like your martial actions and stuff like that. So they put.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 2nd, 3rd. Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's a big miss.
And bonus action guard again.
Yep.
I do like having the bonus actions with the stuff though.
Okay, Calvin, you're up.
All right. Well, he didn't get the gist last time, so I'm gonna say to him, even the brightest stars fall. And I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery again. That's a DC 13. And Beetlejuice again will use the help action.
Okay. Well, you got a 19 on the wisdom save. So
He
he's gonna be
passes
good
this
there.
time. So no go
but
on
he's
the
got
Vicious Mockery, but aid to the next attacker.
Okay. Yeah. So Vigor, you're no death saves, but you're on the ground. Dreaming of the sun. Okay. So it is the goblin's turn. Oh yeah. Gotta go for the big finish. We're taking it home. Yeah. So he's gonna clothesline you twice. I guess it'd be like a knee level clothesline for you because you're so tall.
Yeah.
Gotta work the knee, brother. Gotta work the knee. Main event. You gotta go an hour, brother. You gotta work the holds. So the first one's disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
From your guard thing, right?
Yeah.
Right, because Vicious Mockery didn't work. Okay, so first one's disadvantage. That's an 8. And then the second one is going to be normal. That's a 17?
No.
Okay. Clatters off the links of your chainmail. Oh, the old no-sell. Trying to take a spot. Yeah. Okay. You're up.
She's just so confused during all of this.
The crowd's going wild, though.
I mean, I can't exactly disarm him. He's just trying to clothesline, so I'll just strike at him again and hope I hit this time.
Advantage from Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Okay, great.
11. That is not going to hit.
Oh my goodness.
You now have enough luck for a reroll.
Yeah, I'll reroll that.
That's true.
I don't know.
That's true.
Do I have advantage on the reroll, or is it just?
I would say just the one
Okay.
1d20 reroll. Yeah.
I think it literally specifies like reroll 1 dice.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Okay,
21?
that'll hit. 21, absolutely.
Fantastic. I'm so glad I got to hit him. Or 11 damage.
With the folding chair.
Yeah.
The steel chair.
So yeah, you bear down with your longsword and you cleave him right in half.
I was so obsessed with hitting him, I didn't think about taking mercy and taking him alive.
So he flumps down to the ground.
As it goes down, I go, oh yeah.
That was good.
Okay, so the action settles down. Vigor, you start to come to.
Can I do a medicine check on him to help him?
Sure.
Up? Okay. Cool.
And I'll put Beetlejuice. I'll say Beetlejuice to go right on his forehead to like try to nudge him awake.
I also got this thing as well. So I'm tending to his wounds, and he He's gonna regain hit points equal to, is it 2?
Okay.
Plus
Yeah. 2 plus your con modifier.
which is 2. I have 4 HP. Hey,
Yay.
I'm back at half.
So Kyle is now we're out of combat, right? I'm gonna switch this over.
Yes. So, the villagers the townsfolk start coming out. While you see Elle administering sort of some field medicine to Vigor, Calvin, you do hear a muffled voice from inside the wagon crying for help.
Well, I'll definitely rush over and see who's in there.
So you see, like, underneath some, like, broken chunks of wood, like scraps, kind of, but it's like a big pile. You see, like, this dehydrated, sort of exhausted, panting, sweating, perspiring goblin. He says, it was so hot in there. Why'd they make us nail us in? Why did they make a door before it? And he's like on the verge of death.
I'll speak in Goblin to him. If you can promise me that you'll mind your manners and not try to harm anybody, we won't kill you. But your friends have done some serious damage. They may have even killed a civilian.
I'm not the one you need to worry about. It's Dib, our leader. Oh, he's gone insane. Oh, God, can I please have some water? It's so hot in here.
I'll take out my water skin and usher him forward to come out, and he can drink some.
Yeah, oh, thank you. And he's like, it's that thing where, like, he's so thirsty that, like, it's like pouring down, like barely.
Yeah, he misses it all.
Like when, yeah, like when Cookie Monster eats a cookie, like everything it goes everywhere except in his mouth.
Yeah,
it's like one of those things. He's just happy to like be in contact with moisture.
With water. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because Cookie Monster's a puppet.
Yeah.
What?
So, I break it to you.
Wrestling isn't real, and
puppets are real, guys. They're real. Okay.
Cookie Monsters.
They make me feel things. They're real. Like he's sort of taking in, like he sees like the one liquefied goblin and the all the dead ones in the back, and then he sees the two halves of Dib, sort of on the ground. He goes, "Oh, thank God, somebody finally stood up to that guy. Oh my God, he went nuts. We were perfectly fine raiding merchants on the road. Then he had to get all of this with clotheslining and the fancy jacket and getting famous. Oh, it's awful. Oh, thank you so much for saving.
Is he speaking in Goblin or in Common?
He's talking to you in Goblin. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I say, mind what you say around these people. Some of these may be the merchants you've raided.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we never really asked where they go.
Look,
but we got our hands on that dwarven lumber, and he said, "Oh, this was this last piece of the puzzle that the lady in the lake told him about, and we were going to make a unstoppable killing machine, and we were going to go become world famous, and he was going to wrestle everybody, and he was out of his mind."
I'll say in Common, just almost reflex after hearing this. Calvin says, "The eye, it blinked," and then he'll look around, realizing that he just said that out loud, and he looks to everybody and says, "We'll take him in as prisoner. We'll need to interrogate him, I'm sure, but he says that there may be more danger ahead. You there," and I point to the two of you on the ground. "I may need your assistance. It seems that fate has brought us together."
So it would seem.
"I'm certain it'll only be the three of us. The party will grow no bigger."
We should have a good name for us, the three of us. Like a trio of.
You also
kind.
see like a town guard type of guy, and he is coming up towards the wagon, like coming through the crowd, and he's also got with him a dwarf, who's got like his arm in a sling with like a bandage on his shoulder, and he goes, "Aye, that's me dwarven lumber. That's me dwarven lumber that these goblins stole."
He just confessed to the whole thing.
And the guard is like, "Oh, I guess those other guys, didn't find him or whatever." we'll be sure not to pay them when they get back. And they're like, and the goblin that's with you, Calvin, says, "Hey, look, man, I'll go to jail, I'll do manual labor, whatever, man. Just I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to the tribe. They've I don't know if the lady in the lake had charmed any of the or convinced any of them that this was a good idea. I'll do my time, but I just don't send me back."
I'll put in a good word, but you need to tell me something and be honest. Where is this lady of the lake?
Well, we had our home base that we were raiding out of, and then we went on but there was no merchants for a while, so we were just kind of looking through the woods for stuff to scavenge, for food and stuff like that. And we found this lake with all these crazy plants and everything. And Dib went in and he was changed when he came back, and he started bossing everybody around, and he totally took over.
I take out a notebook and a quill and ink, and I start jotting everything down as best I can.
Yeah,
I know that this is like a conversation in Goblin, and like people around are like probably wondering, but like as much as the guards will allow him to tell me, I will write down every word.
Yeah. So the guard can't understand the conversation, so he just kind of waits. So you're able to get like a crude sort of not a map, but like crude directions. Like MapQuest kind of deal.
MapQuest, yeah.
To where this lake was that this lady met with the now deceased leader of the goblins, the greatest goblin professional wrestler to ever. And he said, "Yeah, it's only about a half a day's hike."
I noted all that down in the directions and everything, and I say to the officer, "You can take him. He does plead guilty and for mercy, and seeing as he betrayed his comrades, it might be worth putting him to some sort of labor. Make him atone for what he's done."
So the guard pulls out like manacles, but he realizes they're going to be way too big. So he's like, "Anybody got some rope or anything like that or whatever?" And then they just kind of crudely tie the goblin's kind of hands together. And he's like, the dwarf is like, "That goblin owes me some money. They ruined me lumber. Looked with these nails. Where'd you get these?" And he picks one of the nails up. He's like, "Look at how crappy these nails are. You didn't even have the decency to use good." And he's just kind of berating the goblin for his poor craftsmanship as they kind of scamper away. So you have your directions to the Lady of the Lake. What do you guys want to do?
While they're arguing about money and everything, and I'm going to go over to the two of them. I guess I guess they came over already, right? You came over and helped.
Yeah, you were over by them. So Vigor is kind of stretching out. He's got his. I'm
checking for a concussion. Like, follow my finger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to the two of you, and
all you can see are my eyes, so that's.
Excuse me, heroes. Yes, I'll say it. Heroes. My name is Calvin Umbros. Scholar, mage, astronomer of the great University of Magic. I believe destiny has brought us together, and we must find this Lady of the Lake. I fear it has more to do with the greater omens that I've witnessed. I believe that the two of you will be instrumental.
It's nice to meet you. Calvin, you said?
He nods.
Is that your night creature that came about?
Oh yes, Beetlejuice. Return. And he'll open his cloak and he'll just nestle inside his armpit and just chill out.
Well,
what was his name again?
Beetlejuice. Calvin Hobbs, yeah. He says, "I'm not allowed to say it a third time, but you understand." What is your name? Warrior woman.
I'm L.
Well, you're a W in my book.
Nice.
You think we could be heroes around here?
I think you already are. It's just making sure others notice it. If that's what you wish, if that's what you seek.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for glory or wealth or anything. Like I said, I've seen the great eye blink. The omens that have been passed on to me, I must see them through. Make sure that no more tempting of the fates continues. We must stop this Lady of the Lake at all costs, or far greater evil will befall this community.
Yes. Yes. That's what we should do. Yes.
Well, it seems that the fates have brought us all together. You in your star cloak. You know, some say that stars are actually suns of distant worlds far, far away.
That's so
Aye.
stupid.
They're giant balls of
They're
gas.
giant balls of gas.
Burning
Lion King reference?
Ouch.
Nice.
far. And Solana, the sun god, probably visits each one in her daily, in her glory. And you, El, it seems that fate has also brought us together. For your strength was proven today. And Solana would admire such strength. So we should work together and stop this Lady of the Lake. For she is blaspheming around here.
Calvin's all on board. He's nodding with everything you say. I have the directions from that goblin, if they can be trusted. But it's a start. I say we head out immediately.
I kind of need a little bit of a break. That goblin hit me pretty hard.
I'm so sorry. I wasn't able to do more for you.
It's okay.
All right, first thing in the morning. We head out first thing in the morning.
Solana will heal me with my prayers. If we must go, I can perform a small ritual that will heal, but I think if we can take the time, perhaps there's more we can learn before we head out.
Do we have to leave first thing in the morning? Can't we get breakfast?
No, the light of the dawn! Solana's eye upon us! That is when we must make our haste.
Okay.
Sometimes you need to take a step back, take 2 steps forward.
Any time away from Solana's light is time spent not doing her will.
You know that it is night for nearly half the day.
Only in like the winter, but like
I mean, it
during
is
the-
fall. Like it's going
it. Yes, this it
It's
is.
equal.
The sun is.
It's equal.
It's equal now. It might be a little bit less, which means we'll have less time with Lady Solana.
And they just start walking down the road, and this banter going back and forth.
You know, when you're looking at it for the whole year, it evens out. So
Yeah, and the
like
camera
Alan's
pans
like
out.
her head keeps like going back and forth like she's watching a tennis match as you both
Yeah.
like argue.
Solana.
All right, Kyle, what do we got?
All
Is there
right,
anything
guys.
left?
well, if you guys are going to take a rest, I think this is a good spot to
Yeah.
finish things off for the night.
Perfect.
The mom with the little kid that you guys saved is just absolutely completely thankful. Makes a home cooked meal for the 3 of you. First one,
Oh.
you guys have been out on the road for a while, so it's
I totally
been a
forgot
while.
about her. I
Um,
was so focused on the wrestling goblin.
Yeah, she kind of mostly thanks Elle because she doesn't really know that like the bat was the wizard's thing. Like she
Mhm.
you kind of fill her in on everything, and she didn't really see Vigor. She didn't even know she was blessed.
Even better.
And things like that. So she's a little extra thankful to Elle, but is once she learns some of the details. Oh, my little boy, you saved him. You saved the town. That horrible machine would have ravaged our town if you weren't here. The guards here are really lazy. So you guys can stay here for the night and reconnoiter again in the morning to investigate the mystery of the Lady of the Lake. So we'll end it there, possibly with some additional allies. You never know. You do hear talk of a couple of other guys that came to the town a little bit earlier in the day, and were asked by that dwarf with the injury to find his dwarven lumber because he was robbed.
That was
on the
his
road.
reference. He said those other guys.
Goblins
I'll
attacked
tell
him
him
on the road.
Yeah.
So again, this is a little bit of a Tarantino situation.
I love it.
But the other group might fill in some of the blanks on Tuesday. And then when we're all back together, perhaps you guys will track down this mysterious Lady of the Lake. And we'll be off to the races.
Great session, Kyle.
Yeah, this was great, guys. I love your characters
this is
already.
Fantastic.
Love them already.
This was great.
And leave a comment down below if you're watching this after the live stream. Let us know what you thought of this campaign, the start of this campaign, Tales of the Valiant, and what is next for this game we're calling Division 7. And maybe we'll find out more about Division 7 later in the game.
We will. Little bits of lore about the world. We'll sprinkle them in here or there as we go.
Love it.
But yeah, this was great, guys. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Bob, for letting me do this. Thanks to my son who got me this cool. Oh no, there it is. This really awesome Skeletor Tiki mug for Father's Day this year. I drink everything out of it now because it's great. I'll get you next time.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. I love it. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. So and anything like this was like a one shot that I modified a little bit. So in the comments of the YouTube video, I'll put in where I got it from because it's like a compilation of all these different one shots. And then the thing we're doing on Tuesday, it was like a series of like anthologies kind of thing. And these had like a little common thread, so I figured this would be a really good way to start off. But I'll put like details about that stuff in the comments so people know where to go to if they like it, if they want to check that out, and some other ones. It's really good stuff. So
thanks, Kyle, and thanks for everyone in YouTube chat today. There was a very lively discussion. I think everybody's on board with this game. So,
and we're gonna make even mistakes with Tales of the Valiant. This is new. And we'll refine it as we go. And if we want to tweak something or change something, that's what these session zeros are kind of for too. It's like a practice run with the characters too. If we want to make some changes, some adaptations and stuff like that, we can do that. But I think it's a learning curve for everyone. And we'll go from there. Remember to jot down your luck points because I think they carry over. I think you keep them until you use them until you get too many and then they reset. So it encourages you to use them. I know halflings have a thing, and then there's a talent, which are like feats that modify luck also. So just I won't be able to keep track. I can never remember inspiration or any of that stuff. So it'll be
mine on the character sheet.
We'll go from there. All right.
Great.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you so much, Kyle.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Kyle.
There we go. See you later, everybody.